guys, welcome back to my channel CreatorSim. It's your hostess, Aspen Blue. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad to have you. If you're a longtime subscriber, thank you for coming back. It means so much. So today's video is kind of a little bit of a palette cleanser to the channel lately. I haven't done really, and this isn't a tiny home, but I haven't really done any small little builds in a while. So I decided I would pop into Newcrest and do some sort of like, I just kind of had the shape in mind. I wanted to do a cube shaped house. I wanted it to be a small house. I wasn't necessarily planning on using the tiny living residential lot type or anything like that, or the tiny home lot type. I just wanted it to be pretty small, space for one sim. So I decided to build here in Newcrest because I knew that I wanted this build to be like very white and brown, and Newcrest is very green and pretty. So I just thought it would be a very nice contrast. And I'm kind of inspired to do a bunch of smaller little houses in this area of Newcrest as well that sort of match along this theme. Anyways, so I did go ahead and pick one of the smallest lots in Newcrest. There's at least two, if not more, of the 20 by 15 lots, which is where I ended up putting this one. And I think it's on the Oak Alcove lot. I can't really see that on my video editing software at the moment, but yeah, just one of the 2 by 15 lots. I got this inspiration, honestly, with the slates. I knew that this lot was very small and there wasn't going to be a nice way to kind of make these places private. And I don't know why I hate when homes are just very exposed, because in real life I don't feel like homes are that exposed, or there's at least some sort of fencing or gating around it. So seeing as how these lots are super tiny and right off of them is like a walking trail where Sims walk by constantly, I decided to go ahead and use the vertical slates that we got with the Eco Lifestyle pack as some sort of cool architectural design as well as a functional, so as well as giving it some privacy. So you can see I've got the shelf laid out. It's really simple. I just got a cube-shaped home with kind of a wraparound porch style. So you're actually going to have to walk between those vertical slates, kind of got like a long porch right there. And then it's just going to plop into a little sunken in entry area, and then a small living room and a small kitchen. Everything is very small in here. I did go ahead and play this though, so everything that your sim needs to survive on this lot should function just fine. There were a couple seating areas around the wraparound porch that I did not playtest. I didn't anticipate them being anything wrong with that, but if there is, just for warning, I didn't playtest those. Everything that your sim needs to live on this lot that works just fine. Okay, so I decided to go ahead and use this itty bitty mirror here and raise one of them up just a little bit in the center to kind of make my own personal mirror. I just like using that trick with that mirror. And of course this sim, because I feel like most of my builds are, I feel like this is aimed towards a female sim. It's very cute. I love all the light colors. It's very airy. Not overly decorated. I wanted to keep it small. I'm awful at starter homes, so this by no means is a starter home. It's actually on the gallery at 67,859 simoleons, so not a starter home. But I did just want it to be very modest. I didn't want any large areas. I wanted it to feel kind of snug and close together. So I'm using the vertical slates inside as well to kind of give some sort of like division between the entry and the living room. I didn't want you to just like, once you come in, there would just be like, boom, you're in the house. I don't know why. I really like there to be just some sort of separation between the front door and the rest of the house. Like, especially if you're having like lazy days in the living room or something and someone comes to your door or whatever. I don't know. It's just, I think it's nice that you can open your front door. People can't just like, boom, see right into your house. I don't know. I just think it's weird. So I decided to use those slates there. Even though like this house is so open, there's so many like floor to ceiling windows in this build, but you know, just go with me here. I do end up putting a fence around the perimeter as well, and it does have a pretty nice yard, which I do like. I did go ahead and use some of the platforms at the yard itself. I kind of did like these raised flower beds in the back of the yard, which I feel like is pretty common with a lot of newer style homes, especially these like brand new houses, at least in my town, where they're all cookie cutter, they're all very the same, they're almost stacked on top of each other, and they always have these very like short, narrow yards that always have like a built-in flower bed around the perimeter. Anyways, so that's what I decided to include. This build does have a lot of the tiny living. How could I not? The furniture is so cute and it really functions. So you can see I've got like this sofa and the chair downstairs. We're upstairs now. I'm kind of figuring out the bathroom and bedroom space. Now, if the sim did want to entertain, the guest would have to come upstairs to her bedroom. In most cases, I would absolutely loathe that, but for a single sim build, I feel like it works. And again, I love these vertical slates. I use them everywhere. If you don't have Eco Lifestyle, it is definitely a pack that I would highly recommend. I also wanted her to have, or this sim, I also wanted them to have some sort of like access to the wraparound porch upstairs as well. So you can see here, I'm kind of trying to figure that out. There aren't really too many doors that match super nicely with those Eco Lifestyle windows, so I just went ahead and used the one there, one glass door, and then just some regular vertical floor-to-ceiling windows. And the bedroom is completely functional. Like I said, the slot has been play tested. It's just pretty simple though. You just pretty much have a bed. I do add some blinds around the area because I did figure if it wasn't privacy the sim was worried about, they would at least maybe possibly want to block out sunlight, which I suppose I do end up contradicting by adding a skylight at the very end of it. I just felt like the top of the build was a little plain, so at the end I do go in with the island living skylight at the top. But you can see I just went ahead and placed the blinds there. I'm pretty sure I went with the ones that we got with Snowy Escape. And there were a couple of accent pieces that came with Island Living that I think worked really well. Like downstairs, I used a little ottoman by the front door. Right there, I just went ahead and used the bench at the edge of the bed. I just think that's a nice touch. And I love the bedroom. It's so basic. There's really not a lot in it, but I just love how open and airy it looks. I love the colors I stuck with. I did like that I used dark cabinets here. I know everything else is pretty much very white, but I thought that the black was a very, I don't know, I thought it looked well. I'm sure this would have looked just fine with white cabinets, but I don't know. I wanted this desk to be black right here. So you can see I'm building a little custom desk. This does function, of course. And it's just a sunken down base game island. And I really love those stools too. I'm pretty positive that those stools are base game, and I use them all the time. As well as those pictures we got with Eco Lifestyle, because that pack was just fantastic. And normally I feel really weird about adding like window doors to bathrooms, but for whatever reason, they're my favorite doors in the Sims game. I very rarely use non-window doors, if that makes any sense, like doors without any window panels on them. I just feel like we don't have a great deal of modern doors, especially not modern plain doors. Like I feel like if you're wanting to go for a more modern, sleek look, there's really only maybe one or two options you could use. Anyways, those are my thoughts. So right now I'm working a little bit outside because the inside came together really fast. Like there wasn't a whole lot of thinking that needed to be done. Like I only had so much area, which is kind of why I decided to do a build this small too. I get so carried away with terrain. I love doing terrain and I love adding plants, as you guys probably know if you've been around the channel for a while. And as you can see here, I'm about to add a great deal of plants for this itty bitty little lot. But I decided to kind of rein myself in creativity-wise because I do go overboard with these big dramatic projects, and well, they kind of hang out in my external hard drive way too long because it just takes me forever to finish them. And I also feel like the speed builds are so unorganized because they're so big that I can't build organized, if that makes sense. Like I have to take a break and move from one part of the house to the other. So yeah, this one was a bit more organized. Since Newcrest is so bright and green, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with the landscaping. I definitely knew that I wanted a great deal of landscaping to blend in with the surrounding landscaping. I do try and do that when I build in a world. I just try and use plants and landscaping features that I feel fit in that world. Obviously the desert plants do not, but I thought that would be a really cute thing to do just kind of around the house. And here I am adding like a little tiny little driveway and backyard area. I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do with the backyard at first. The pool's kind of in this awkward area, but then I just decided to put it up against the house and do these little kind of stacked platforms in the back. I do end up adding the little meditation stool and a yoga mat up there, so there are some activities in the backyard. And I just feel like it looks like a really cute place to meditate. If I were to do yoga or meditate, that would definitely be the spot, like right next to the pool, all the nice plants outside. That sounds really, really relaxing. Alright guys, we're just going to go ahead and cut to my outro because the last couple minutes of this speed build unfortunately corrupted on exporting. My screen captures are still intact though, so I hope you guys enjoy. I just wanted to thank you so much for stopping by my little sapling of a channel and giving it a watch here. If you liked what you saw and you're not subscribed already, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe. It means so much to my channel. And if you are subscribed, it means so much that you guys keep coming back. I love it so much. It's always a pleasure to chat with you. Thank you so much for letting me ramble. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. We'll talk soon. Bye.